I guess this happened in the middle of the show yesterday. You guys didn't get to it. Whew, it's a doozy. This interaction with Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin. Markwayne, yes.
But I just want to be clear. His name is Mark Space Wayne Mullin, but as he decided to go forward with the portmanteau as Markwayne as one word.
Oh, he did.
His name is officially Mark Space Wayne Mullin.
Right.
Yeah, that's the sort of like fun individuality the guy type of kid who inherits a business can afford.
Right. This is him just expressing himself, right? And as Matt said, he did inherit a business, and yet you wouldn't know it based on well, maybe you would, but based on his kind of entitlement that he displays in this video. Here is Senator Markwayne Mullin in a hearing with Teamsters union head or official, one of the guys in leadership, Sean O'Brien.
The general president, Sean O'Brien.
And they go at it about unions, labor in general. And just a reminder, this guy, Markwayne Mullin, senator from Oklahoma, is a business owner who took over $1 million in PPP loans, had them forgiven, has made millions raising flags about ethics concerns while he's been in office as a senator, interacting with this union rep.
You guys don't mention that because, see, I started with nothing, absolutely nothing. In fact, I started below nothing.
Okay, I would like to just pause it again. This guy inherited his business. By definition, that's not starting with nothing, right? All right, start over.
In that, because see, I started with nothing, absolutely nothing. In fact, I started below nothing. And I started growing this little plumbing company with 6 employees to now we have over 300 employees. And back in 2009, you guys tried to unionize me. My guys were making money. They were getting paid more than the union halls were paying their plumbers. Our benefits were better. But because we started bidding jobs that were union jobs and winning those, union pipe fitters decided they were going to come after us. They would show up at my house. They'd be leaning up against my trucks. I'm not afraid of a physical confrontation. In fact, sometimes I look forward to it. That's not my problem. But when you're doing that to my employees, and then when that didn't work, they started picketing our job site, saying, shame on Mullin. Shame on Mullin. For what? For what? Because we were paying higher wages? Because we had better benefits and we wasn't requiring them to pay your guys' exorbitant salaries?
All right, pause it just for 1 second, because he goes on at length, but this is less useful for the audience's perspective, for people trying to analyze this, as when you see it as an interaction between a Republican senator and a union representative. That's part of it, but mostly this is indicative of an interaction between a business owner and a union. Because this guy's entitlement, when unions, the union, I guess, that his plumbing company, that was representing the workforce at his plumbing company, was asking for higher wages. Look at how quickly he turns it into, you're victimizing me. I won't pay you more, but you're victimizing me.
Yeah, the way
owner.
The way he's talking is, this isn't Senator Markwayne Mullin. This is like boss Markwayne Mullin.
This is, and frankly,
I say that derisively, not like boss shit. No, I mean like he's like literally being a boss.
Yeah, and useful for people to know that this is a majority of bosses and how they view union labor in this country.
You talk about CEOs that are making all this money, and what do you make, Mr. O'Brien?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah, I know what you make, because in 2019, your salary was, what is this, $193,000? I'm sure you got some pay raises since then.
Yeah, when I was
And the average UPS driver, the feeder driver, makes $35,000 a year?
That's
and what do you bring?
That's
to the table?
inaccurate.
Hold on a second.
That's inaccurate. State
no,
facts.
I've got it right here.
State facts. That's
The
inaccurate.
average UPS feeder driver makes $35,000. If you don't know your facts, then maybe you should.
I know them because I negotiate the
So
contract.
I say one thing to you. What do you bring for that salary?
What do I bring?
Yeah. What job have you committed, or have you started? What job have you created? One job, other than sucking the paycheck out of somebody else that you want to say that you're trying to provide because you're forcing them to pay dues?
No, we don't force anyone.
Senator, you've asked the
You're
question.
out of line.
Let him
man.
answer
Actually,
the
I
question.
haven't, and don't tell me I'm out.
You are out of line.
Don't tell me I'm out of line.
Well, you frame,
don't tell me.
you
I'm
frame,
making
you
the
frame, you
Sir,
frame the statement
you need to
like a
shut
tough
your
guy.
mouth
Yeah.
because you don't know
You're
what
gonna tell me to shut my mouth?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Yes,
Tough
it is.
guy. I'm not
Senator,
afraid of physical.
Senator,
You don't have
hold
to,
it.
but don't sit there and tell me I'm out of line.
Senator, you made a statement. You asked the question.
I didn't ask a question.
You did it.
You did.
I answered the question.
You asked the question about how
Well, it was
much money you made.
rhetorical.
Let him answer.
It was a rhetorical
Well,
question.
you may think it's rhetorical.
It was
Sounded to me
rhetorical.
like a question. Let him answer the question.
I'm not yielding my time to him. So if you're going to let me keep my time, that's fine.
You'll have your time. Let him. You ask
Your
a
question.
question. He has
So-
a right to answer that.
As far as my salary goes, my salary, if you follow me around, I actually look at this building. I bet you I work more hours than you do, twice
That's-
as many hours.
that's impossible, but-
No, that's true.
Sir, you don't even know what hard work is. You wanna follow my schedule,
Secondly, I'll do it in a
follow.
minute. Secondly, UPS feeder drivers, and you can quote Carol Tomei, who quoted this. They make $93,000 on the lower end. Some of
said
them making
feeder drivers.
$150,000.
I said feeder drivers.
Feeder drivers, tractor trailer drivers. Some of them making $150,000 per year.
Some of them do.
And
I don't
most of them
disagree
ma-
with that.
most of them
After
make
you've been
over-
there
most of them-
after you've been there 4 years.
Most of them make over $1,000.
Okay.
Most of them make over $100,000.
So reclaiming my time, I go back to the whole fact that, sir, you haven't created a job.
We haven't.
You haven't been there. You haven't.
Sure, we have.
You haven't.
Sure, we have.
Tell me one job that you created.
What are you talking? Be specific.
You're an
What do you mean?
employer?
No, we're not
You
an
employ
employer.
people?
No, but it's funny.
So, no, then hold on, then
we
that's
create
not creating
opportunity.
jobs.
We create opportunity because we
Sir,
hold
that's not-
hold greedy CEOs
That's
like yourself
not-
accountable.
You're calling me a greedy CEO.
Oh yeah, you are.
Hilarious.
You want to attack my salary? I'll attack yours.
Here,
What
go
did you
ahead.
make? What did you make when you owned your company?
When I made my company, I kept my salary down at about $50,000 a year because I invested every penny into it.
Okay, all right. You mean you hid money?
No, I didn't hide. Oh,
Okay.
hold on a second.
Okay, good.
He said that's out of line. You said
All right,
I was out of
we're
line.
even, we're even.
We're not even. We're not even close to being even.
Well,
You think it's smart? You think you're funny?
No,
You're
you
not.
You think you're funny?
No, I never said. Did I
You
smile?
frame
Did I laugh?
your opening.
Hold
statement.
on. Let's.
You frame your opening statement
No,
saying you're a tough
Senator,
guy.
continue.
This-
Senator, please
This is
continue your
behavior,
statements.
but sir, this is. I think it's great that you're doing this because
Me too.
this shows their behavior on how they try to come in and
No, I-
demonize a shop.
No, it's
and they
just-
say about intimidation, and it's not about intimidation.
This
it's
may
about the
show your
employee
behavior
support.
here. But stay on the issue, please.
The issue is, if you're really for the employee, then why are you against right to work? Why are you against private ballots? If you're really about the employee, let the employee make the choice. I'm not anti-union, but when you don't want to have a private ballot, that's not intimidating? That's not intimidating? Why wouldn't you want a private ballot? That is intimidating the employee. If you don't want a right to work state, don't force somebody to pay dues to an organization they may not agree with. Don't force somebody to do something
But are
they don't
benefiting
want to.
from the
That's called
collective
employee
bargaining.
choice. If you want to be part of a union, God bless you, be part of a union. I have no issue with that. But don't sit
What?
up here and say that an employee is the one that intimidates their employers are intimidating their employees, not becoming a union.
Okay, Senator,
That's not
thank
accurate.
you. Thank you very much.
on and
Senator
on.
Murray.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I actually would like to.
yeah, I mean, of course, he reclaimed his time. Didn't necessarily give him an immediate chance to respond there, but so much to say.
That family plumbing business, he sold it to. Let's see, what do you think? Do you think he gave that to the plumbers, all those plumbers he cared so much about? And
He made it a
hired?
collective.
You think he did that, or do you think he sold it to private equity?
Whoop! How much do you think he made?
No way.
I'm not sure. I'm kind of looking
Well,
for that.
Tulsa World
No
Report.
way.
Tulsa World reports $31 million. That's how much wealth he accrued.
No, hold on.
In his
So-
career.
Wait,
you
hold
know-
on. He had a $50,000 salary. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's a nice
wow.
thing about investing in your business is you can later sell that, those investments to a private equity firm.
Yeah. So, okay. And there's so much there, right? One, he is being purposefully, he's purposefully admitting all of the other sources of wealth and just focusing on his own salary in an attempt to make
Do you
himself.
know Bill Gates only made $1 one year? Like,
Oh,
moron.
whoa! I mean, and the fact that he's so defensive when he knows he's lying about that is just shocking to me. But CrossFit Jim Dolan over there is a very wealthy man, a multimillionaire, and as I mentioned earlier, he had $1.4 million forgiven in PPP loans. And when he talks about the disparity in pay for a UPS driver versus the union representative, how is that the fault of the union, the man representing the union, who's making nearly $200,000, which seems completely fine and proportionate to his value?
Well, compared to like delivering on those six-figure jobs for certain drivers, like yes, we should be broadly like paying people more. That's not going to be Markwayne Mullin and private equity's agenda.
Right. They're going to cut labor costs. The reality is that Mullin is trying very emotionally and hysterically to invert the power dynamics here and claim that it's the people bargaining on behalf of these workers who are causing wages to be depressed. No. It's business owners like yourself. So when he's trying to divert the anger to the guy who works for the union, that's all to divert the spotlight from guys like Mullin there. And when he keeps focusing on job creators, that's such a myth, right? People like Mullin need plumbers and laborers for their business to be profitable. There's nothing benevolent about being a job creator in and of itself, right? I mean, at all, I would say. What is something that should be lauded are people like this union rep here. What is his name? Sean O'Brien, who are, despite that dynamic, fighting for workers to have a larger piece of the pie. Mullin is aggressively trying to do the opposite.
Yeah, should the workers be like prostrate and thanking their boss over and over and over?
That's
for
what he would
hiring them?
like.
Or thanking the people who are literally their job, what they are paid to do is advocate for workers. Yeah, they get a salary. Oh my God, a fate worse than death. A union guy, a union rep getting a six-figure salary, so he can feed his family and also protect and advocate for workers and fight for workers.
But that's what makes him so uncomfortable, Mullin, is that relationship is laid bare when you have these kinds of hearings. That the worker doesn't need to kind of bow to the feet of their employer to thank them for getting their wage when you see that there's somebody that can fight for you to actually have better wages and protections. And it's not just going to be what the business owner, the job creator, bestows upon you. So
Choi's argument is also disgraceful.
It's really ridiculous. Like a guy with a plumbing business acting like he's the job creator. Do you create that plumbing system? Who created the sewage system and that you're feeding into? Like this?
He didn't even create his business.
Right, exactly.
He got it from somebody else. He inherited it.